Now a Target 12 exclusive, a second chance, helping women who are serving time land a job.
It was really hard. Yeah. Sorry, I need a moment.
Emotional sound there. A manufacturing program inside the women's prison is designed to give those women a second chance.
And Target 12 investigator Kate Wilkinson spoke with who got a job through that program and joins us now with her story. Kate.
The woman I spoke with says she was able to get a job just 1 month after walking out of the ACI, something she says has been essential to a fresh start. The former inmate Target 12 interviewed asked to not be identified and tells us she spent 20 months in the ACI after she was convicted on felony counts of possession and delivery of drugs.
That made me say, and I can go back and make that mistake again.
But after serving her time, she's now working here at St. Gobain Performance Plastics in Bristol. Sebastian Moore is the HR manager.
Parts that we use, are used in aerospace, automotive, the semiconductor industrial application.
A machine operator, she's being paid $18 an hour, using skills she learned while she was still in the ACI through a program that's in collaboration with the Rhode Island Department of Corrections and the Department of Labor and Training.
We train in small groups. It was challenging to get a machine shop built inside, a metal machining shop built inside the walls of the ACI.
Lindsay Brickle with the URI Research Foundation and Polaris says at least 30 women have gone through the program over the last 2 years. Brickle says they're already seeing results.
So 100% completion rate, and of folks that are looking for work or work eligible, we have a 70% placement rate. But there's also folks that have decided they don't want to go into manufacturing, and that's okay.
According to a 2021 report from the U.S. Department of Justice, about a third of people leaving the federal prison system never find a job over a 4-year period. But the Brookings Institute, a nonpartisan think tank, notes people are less likely to commit crimes if they have a stable full-time job. The woman we spoke with says she faced multiple rejections from potential employers because she had served time, and others told her they would pay her less.
It was really hard. Yeah.
Why?
Sorry, I need a moment. Some people think some people don't deserve second chances, and that's what make it hard, you know?
Moore says he did have some reservations about hiring someone right out of prison, but says he doesn't regret it.
Super reliable, dependable, and we're proud to have been able to help, bridge and provide that opportunity.
According to the Society for Human Resource Management, 85% of HR managers surveyed believe second chance hires do just as well, if not better, than other employees. New at 6, I'll have how this program is also benefiting employers. With the Target 12 investigators, Kate Wilkinson, 12 News.
Now a Target 12 investigators exclusive, a second chance. At 5, we told you about a state program inside the ACI that's connecting women who are serving time with skilled jobs in the manufacturing industry.
New at 6, Target 12 investigator Kate Wilkinson finds out the program not only benefits the women starting new lives, but also the companies that hire them.
Here's Kate with the exclusive story.
A report from the Manufacturing Institute predicts 2.1 million manufacturing jobs across the U.S. will be left unfilled by 2030. State organizers see this program as a way to fill some of those vacancies. A former inmate Target 12 interviewed asked to not be identified. She says she spent 20 months in the ACI after she was convicted on felony counts of possession and delivery of drugs.
Some people think some people don't deserve second chances, and that's what make it hard.
She says she was frequently denied jobs because she had served time in prison, and in some cases she was told she'd be paid less. Lindsay Brickle with the URI Foundation in Polaris says employers are missing out.
It's an untapped workforce pipeline that a lot of people don't realize can be such a good resource.
Brickle says the former inmate is one of about 30 women over the last 2 years who have gone through the state's manufacturing collaborative. Organized by the Department of Labor and Training as well as the Department of Corrections, women are learning manufacturing skills using a workshop inside the ACI.
This is not simple material, like advanced solid modeling, SolidWorks, machining. These are complex topics that require a pretty fundamental understanding of math, and we help them get to the point where they can bridge any gaps they might have.
In this case, the former inmate was able to find a job after only 1 month of searching. Now she's working here at Cinco Bain Performance Plastics in Bristol, where she's making $18 an hour. Sebastian Moore is the HR manager. He says he had some reservations before taking part in the state program, but was impressed by the support network it offers.
The benefits outweighed the risk.
According to the Department of Labor and Training, employers also benefit from the program, having access to a tax credit and wage reimbursement incentives. But Moore didn't mention those when he talked about the success of the program. Instead, he pointed to his employee.
The person that we hired from this program has such a great attitude and is a hard charger.
Through the program, the woman we spoke with now has a savings account and college credits. She's looking forward to walking at graduation at CCRI this spring.
Gonna helping my mom to come to the U.S. and just focus and grow like personally and the job.
Brickle says they're now looking to start a machine maintenance program with the men's population inside the minimum security facility at the ACI. With the Target 12 investigators, Kate Wilkinson, 12 News.